Thanks for joining us. The Lafayette City Parish Council is considering its options on the future of LUS.
And tonight, the council tried to force Mayor President Joel Robideau for his position on what he thinks should happen. As we've been reporting, in April, Mayor President Robideau signed a non-binding letter of intent with the Bernhard Group to begin negotiations for that company to take over management of LUS. Robideau signed that letter without telling members of the council, and since it became public, other companies like Entergy and Clico have also expressed interest in managing the public-owned utility. But now the council wants clarity from Mayor President Robideau. 3's on the street. Danielle Garcia joins us live at City Hall with details on the move by the council tonight. Danielle.
Tonight, Councilman Bruce Conk proposed a resolution requesting that the Mayor President take a stand on whether or not LCG should move forward with a third-party management of LUS. That resolution did unanimously pass, but Mayor President Robideau left early from the meeting, and a spokeswoman told me he was unavailable for comment.
In fact, neither of these bodies initiated the request for the proposal.
Councilman Bruce Conk disputes that LUS needs a third-party management to make necessary improvements.
We need to have some indication from the Mayor President as to whether or not he means to pursue third-party management of LUS. If so, then I strongly suggest that he open the process to all interested parties. If not, then let's move on.
All public comments were in opposition to giving up management of the city-owned utility.
Why would you want to give the management away to another third-party team?
Lafayette citizens own LUS. If this proposal advances and is ultimately implemented, it will be in direct defiance of the will of the people.
How a potential deal would impact LUS employees is also in question.
Will civil service employees be allowed to work under a private entity? Mr. Morgantoe?
Very simple answer is no. And when civil service is also a chartered department, establishes civil service positions, those positions exist in service to Lafayette Consolidated Government.
And I differ from Ms. Martell. Louisiana Supreme Court 2003 ruled unequivocally that privatization is allowed in conjunction with civil service.
This brought concerns by Councilwoman Liz Hebert.
Everyone's ready to know what's happening. There's a lot of rumors out there. And not just our constituents, but the employees of LUS. They are scared that they are going to lose their jobs, and that is not right.
It's not right. We don't believe in that. And no one's going to lose their job.
But the fear of unknown is there.
We need to address that as soon as possible.
Mr. Bernhardt,
I agree.
I'm sure you're a great guy, but they don't know you.
That's correct.
There's a lot of uncertainty about their jobs.
The debate will continue at the next council meeting, where Councilman William Terrio is proposing a resolution stating that LUS will not be up for outside management or partnership at this time. 3's on the street live in Lafayette. Danielle Garcia, KATC TV3.